Welcome to the Know, I'm Meg Turney. Here's what's going on around the interwebs. After a 10-year run, Microsoft laid the Xbox 360 to rest yesterday, announcing that they would cease all production of the console. The servers for the 360 will continue running, so fans can enjoy their favorite games and services. In all, Microsoft sold over just 85 million Xbox 360s last generation, all while unleashing loads of new IP, fantastic community ideas, and pretty all-around great games. Whether or not you're a 360 fan, it is hard to deny the impact the console had in the industry, leaving us with a ton of great memories like hunting for achievements and partying up with friends, as well as some less great memories like Milo and Red Rings of Death. Oh man, the arcade was so good. Try not to fart. Great game. Anyway, for a market that was long dominated by Japanese companies, Microsoft certainly shook things up with their Xbox. Good night, sweet prince. We salute you. Microsoft may have put the 360 out to pasture, but Ubisoft's The Division is probably having a much worse week at this point. After a string of glitches, wonky updates, missing characters, a whole lot of controversy about punishing players using exploits, it seems that yet another new bug has been discovered in the game, and this one is, well, just about as game-breaking as the others. You would expect no less at this point. Players are now making use of a bug that gives them insane DPS. We're talking enough to kill bosses and other players in a single shot here, just from switching weapons back and forth. Obviously, it is a little bit more complicated than that, but not much so. So we're not going to teach you how to do it because, you know, Ubisoft's coming for your ass. She's coming for everybody's asses. I don't know why she's a she now, but she is. This new glitch is in addition, of course, to another unlimited credits glitch that was found in the game this week. Maybe Ubisoft should, you know, use some of that season pass money to just hire a few more QA people. We're salty. New data is in about the makeup of the eSports audience, and it may surprise you, or not at all surprise you depending on which set of data you look at. Last week, Nielsen Games reported that their studies indicate that the eSports audience is 80% male. Oh shit, what? No way. However, this week, research from PwC claims their research shows that while eSports fans might be overwhelmingly male, female fans are just as or more engaged than their do-bro counterparts. That's the thing we measure now, how much girls care about games. Additionally, women were more likely to label themselves as esports fans than men, which is surprising. Their study also found that the esports community is young and racially diverse, highlighting the trend of millennials moving away from traditional entertainment. Regardless of the makeup of the audience, esports has yet to go mainstream, with only 15% of subjects aware that esports even existed. To those people, we ask, where have you been? Why aren't you watching the NALCS? Why aren't you watching the European LCS? Also, do you think esports are sports? I bet you don't, and you're gonna leave a snarky comment in the comments. Oh, you. Where have you been is the question that some Nintendo fans have also been asking Nintendo this generation, thanks to a scarce library of Wii U games. But according to one industry insider, that won't be the case with the NX. Longtime blogger Emily Rogers, who we've mentioned quite a few times over a few stories in the last few weeks, I use few a lot of times there. She's got a decent track record, by the way, when it comes to Nintendo information, so you should pay attention to what she says. She is saying that her sources are telling her that the NX's game library is going to blow the Wii U's library out of the water. According to Rogers, the NX will have more games in its first year than the Wii U had in 3 or 4. Nintendo will accomplish this through a new pipeline that allows them to produce first-party titles much more quickly. This may give the NX the biggest first-party lineup of any Nintendo system ever. Oh, that sounds really well and good, of course, for this new machine, unicorn, Harry Potter choosing sorting hat thing that we haven't seen, but just show us, because I'm sick of talking about rumors, basically. In the realm of conspiracy theories, speaking of rumors, UFO conspiracy theorists are having a field day thanks to some bizarre circumstances surrounding a NASA feed. Earlier this week, the live camera feed of the International Space Station went down just as a strange U-shaped object appeared to be coming over the horizon in the distance. Naturally, people who watch NASA feeds for those type of events went, "Oh, the truth is out there. He knew what he was talking about. I meant Mulder, because you should know that." Anyway, some are accusing NASA, of course, of covering up their great alien deception because they cut the feed, which is really a great accusation, because isn't it fucking great for NASA if we find aliens? Whatever. Footage from the feed has now appeared over on UFO channel Secure Team 10, which claims that the only time the ISS feed cuts out is whenever one of these mysterious crafts appear. So, go watch it for yourself, and then maybe you decide, are you Mulder? Are you Scully? Do you believe? Do you not believe? Still on the topic of science fiction, although much better science fiction, Blade Runner 2's release date has been moved up to October 2017. The film was originally slated to come out in January of 2018, but Batman v Superman's recent box office underperformance has had Warner Brothers shifting their entire lineup around and probably screaming and throwing things into the air. This comes in addition to Warner Brothers changing the release date of Wonder Woman, as well as pushing back Jungle Book to 2018. Yes, Warner Brothers has their own version of Jungle Book coming out 2 years after Disney's, which everybody loves Disney, so you fucked yourself already. Anyway, of course, all that's not to be confused with the Jungle Book comic, an unrelated story of a busty woman in skimpy jungle clothing. I got so excited about busty, I couldn't read the rest of it. Blade Runner 2 will feature the return of Harrison Ford as Detective Deckard, along with Ryan Gosling and Robin Wright. Speaking of ladies. It'll be helmed by Sicario director Denis Villeneuve, with Ridley Scott acting as executive producer. So, yeah, get excited. Another science fiction classic is getting the Hollywood treatment, only to find itself in the middle of a shitstorm of controversy. This week, the live-action Ghost in the Shell adaptation starring the very not Asian Scarlett Johansson has come under renewed criticism about whitewashing the film's cast following the release of promotional images. However, not everybody seems to be on the whitewashing bandwagon, including the original publisher of the manga, Kodansha. Sam Yoshiba, the director of the international division at Kodansha, said in an interview that not only does ScarJo have the cyberpunk feel, the company, quote, never imagined it would be a Japanese actress in the first place. Yeah, way to add fuel to that fire. He went on to add that he was very excited, of course, for the rest of the world to see a Japanese story, and that his visit to the set in New Zealand showed that great care is being given to the source material. Then he left and they brought M. Night Shyamalan come back on set and just ruin everything. Just kidding, he's not involved, or maybe he is. That's the twist. Speaking of twists, Google is now dealing with a legal one of their own. This week, the European Union leveled antitrust charges against the tech company, accusing it of not playing nice with Android. According to the EU, no, not the Star Wars Expanded Universe, although that's what you're thinking, Google's involved in restrictive licensing practices which require hardware manufacturers to agree to a certain set of conditions to install Google's proprietary apps. Google's position is that agreements with hardware makers have allowed them to keep mobile prices down for the consumer while making money off the back-end services. A win-win for everyone. But mostly Google, of course, you know. The EU currently has other charges directed at Google as well, mostly for its ads business. While this is just an initial step, it could eventually lead to a legal battle between Google and the EU. And then maybe like a sweaty dance-off just to get it all out there. Lastly, of course, we wanted to acknowledge the gamers out there who did something truly awesome for one of their own. Last month, well-known games producer Mike 4G, who worked on titles like Shadow of Mordor and Gears of War 2, passed away after a battle with inoperable cancer. In response to that, several studios around the industry put up a ton of really cool gaming-related items on an eBay auction, with the proceeds going to help his family. There's also a YouCaring page set up for people who simply wanted to donate. So far, over $100,000 have been raised for the 4Gs, with some gamers spending over $1,000 each for some of the auction items. One generous contributor gave $1,200 for a visit to Bungie, while another paid $1,100 for a chance to appear as a character in Crackdown 3. While of course the gamers did get some cool prizes, it really is so much better that the money went to such a noble cause. So that's the end of your weekly roundup. We'll hit you back with another one on Tuesday, in addition to your regular coverage, to catch you up on everything you might have missed over the weekend. Let us know your favorite story down in the comments, and you know, of course, while you're at it, why don't we reminisce about the Xbox 360? You're gonna call me a shill for it anyway. Tell us your favorite game in the comments down below. As always, for more geeky news, like this video and subscribe to the Now. This is a new glitch, is in addition, of course, into another new glitch that gives players unlimited This glitch is, of course, in addition to another new glitch that gives I can't say players. According to Rogers, the NX will have more games in its first year than the Wii U had in years 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Also, I meant like we're gonna go one, you know, let's just go back.